and you can see there's shiny parts where it's just cooking. There's cooked parts that are delicate and sheety.
What? What did Jamie say? I think I didn't hear Jamie right. Today we're going to be seeing how Jamie makes a scrambled eggs, which I've actually never seen him make before. And I'm going to be channeling my inner Uncle Roger, as you can tell by the shirt. And if you do happen to enjoy this video, then be sure to give it a like and a share. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. Now, let's get started.
Today, we're gonna cook scrambled eggs 3 ways. We're gonna go a la English way, a la the French way, and the American way. Beautiful scrambled eggs, so delicious.
Well, this is going to be interesting today. Now, if you guys are familiar with eggs, and for all the chefs watching, as you know, there are literally more than 100 different ways on how to cook an egg. And if you have this little cookbook, which is Le Répertoire de la Cuisine, this is my dad's old little cookbook, there are so many different ways on how to cook an egg in here. Like, it's literally mind-blowing. And just for scrambled eggs alone, there's like 30, 40 different ways. So if you haven't gotten this book, then you should check it out. I think they sell them on Amazon in the English and French versions, but the only thing is that you kind of need to have a little bit of skill to be able to make these recipes, because it's just a suggestion. It's not a very detailed book, but there's thousands of recipes in this book.
The chicken egg is the most delicious and cheap form of brilliant protein on the planet. Fact. They have loads of micronutrients and they're so quick to cook.
Jamie is right about that. Eggs are basically a superfood. You have to think all the nutrients that a little baby chicken needs to grow, to survive, to hatch, is inside that egg. So if it's good for the little baby chicken, and with all those ingredients, it is good for you. And if you actually have the space to have your own chickens or ducks, I used to have ducks as well growing up, then you will notice a big difference in quality compared to the store-bought eggs, like a massive difference.
English scrambled eggs. We're gonna go onto a medium heat. I am gonna go 2 eggs per person. I'm gonna do it for 2. So just whisk those eggs up. Now, one little request. I hate battery eggs. So minimum for me, standard eggs is barn eggs. And of course, free range and free range organic is the way to go.
Interesting. Jamie has a bit of a different philosophy and probably more of a common technique than what Gordon does, because Gordon, when he makes his scrambled eggs, he does not mix the eggs before adding them to the pan. Gordon actually mixes the eggs in the pan as they're cooking instead of doing it beforehand. Now, Gordon says that if you do it the normal way that most of us probably do it, it makes the eggs a little more watery. But in reality, if you're just cooking at home, you don't need to be that particular about it. I mean, if you're going for a restaurant and you're going to cook for someone, okay, this is one thing, but at home, it's another thing. So this is okay. And again, what Jamie's saying about like the barn eggs or like actual farm-raised eggs, big difference, but big difference. You get a much deeper yolk as well with the eggs. They have a lot more nutrients in them than the ones that are from the store.
Let's do it. I'm going to go in with a nice knob of butter. Straight in, just with a little salt. In we go. And for me, the perfect thing to move the eggs around is a little spatula like this. So I'm just going to move it around. And very quickly, you can see it setting around the base. You can see there's little cooked curds and the raw egg. So I'm just going to leave it every sort of 5 seconds. I give it a little move around. You don't want it to catch too much. Some people put milk in, some people put cream in. If you cook it right, you don't need any of that.
So depending on the kitchen, of course, but a lot of the time when you go for an interview, they will ask you to cook. And some of the time, they may actually ask you to make some scrambled eggs, especially if you're in the UK or if the chef is English. And this is usually a test. If you make perfect scrambled eggs, you know how to cook. If you don't, you may need to learn. Now, the other little thing, though, very important about the cream, this is something I don't agree with Jamie here. The whole idea of adding cream, is to stop the cooking process, but you add it at the end of the cooking process, not at the beginning. At the very end, and it stops the eggs from overcooking, because if you don't, what can happen is the eggs will continue to cook because they continue to absorb the heat from that pan. If you're noticing that your eggs are a little dry, add a dollop, or a little spoonful of creme fraiche, sour cream, or a little, very little splash of milk, cold milk, and that will help prevent them from overheating.
This is cooked now, but you've got to remember that this pan is still warm and they're going to continue to cook. So all I do is when I get to this stage, I just put it to one corner of the pan, and that way it's not going to kind of overcook anymore.
That's it? That's what Jamie does to stop them from overcooking. No, don't listen to him with this. Try a little bit of creme fraiche or sour cream. Just a little bit. It will not only stop the eggs from cooking, but it will also add a little bit of creaminess to the eggs.
I get my toast. You can butter your toast, but remember we've got a nice knob of butter already on our scrambled eggs.
Come on, Jamie, you don't need to burn the toast. Quick story, when my dad was the executive chef at Lowe's Ventana Canyon Resort in Tucson, Arizona, one day Yves Saint Laurent was coming to actually visit the hotel. Long story short, my dad was English, he was French, so he had his little liaison call the hotel and asked my father, actually called the executive chef, to ask him on the phone if he knew how to make toast. They sent over a color chart to my father and they told him on the color chart which color they want, which shade on the toast. Long story short, he was happy, blah, 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 but in any case, it's just, you know, one of those things that, well, still exists today. English and French don't necessarily get on.
So on we go with our lovely, beautiful English style scrambled eggs. You can see it's medium curds, still with moisture around. Completely beautiful, but also still soft in texture. So, English eggs done. Soft, gorgeous, delicate. Next, French style.
If we forget about the toast being burnt, not bad, Jamie, not bad.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jamie. J'aime le œuf. Œuf? Œuf? Œuf.
C'est quoi ça? Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Jamie?
French style eggs. You lightly season for free-range eggs. We whip it up, and see here we've got about 1 inch of boiling water, and we're going to cook this over a bain-marie, a water bath, okay? Now, here's the thing. Eggs cook at a very low temperature, and it takes a while.
This is true. When you're cooking with a bain-marie, it can take a very long time, especially if you're making a lot. However, using a water bath method is a very safe way of cooking eggs. And if you do it this way, they'll be super, super, super silky. And this is also the method that we use to make hollandaise, although you can use direct heat to make hollandaise as well, and scrambled eggs. But again, this is like the ultra safe method, and you have full control. You hate it when that happens, no? When you're like juggling and all of a sudden you miss one. I think he did it on purpose though.
Okay, so now you can see there are kind of curds beginning to form. You can see them on the end of here, just about. And now is a good time to put a few knobs of butter in there. So I'm going to go from a whisk now, and I'm going to use a little spatula. And you're going to start to see a more gentle, delicate curd coming out.
Now, if you're not making scrambled eggs and you're trying to make hollandaise sauce and your eggs are like that, you messed up. The big important thing is when making hollandaise, you do not want any scrambled at all. You want a very silky, ribbon-like sauce. And of course, when making scrambled, if they look like this, they're perfect.
We're in a good place. On we go. And very, very different to the English. When you eat it, it's very, very fine. It's very luxurious. So there you go, guys. French style eggs. They are delicious.
Are they delicious? Well, the eggs can be tasty, but normally you want to add something with them. I don't know, maybe some smoked salmon. I don't know, maybe something to make it a little more interesting instead of just eggs and toast and a little bit of butter.
Finally, food tubers, we're gonna finish with the American style eggs. Okay, so we're gonna start off the same. Put a little salt into our 4 eggs. We're gonna use a frying pan. Go in with a knob of butter.
You can use like a frying pan, omelette pan, whatever type of pan, but a lot of people in the US tend to use a cast iron skillet to make their eggs. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people do.
Let's get that bubbling away. We're gonna go in with the eggs. You'll see it starts to set. And as it starts to set, I'm bringing in these beautiful sheets. And you get this kind of roulade-y, folded, gorgeous diner eggs. See these beautiful sheets happening, guys? The same rules apply to the French and the English. We want it to be gentle cooking, so it's a joy.
Well, I have to admit, Jamie, that these are some of the nicest diner scrambled eggs that I have seen, because normally when you get diner eggs, I'm not saying every single diner, but normally you just throw the bloody eggs in the pan, they cook them as fast as can be, you put them on the plate, they go out, and you have nice dry eggs. In other words, Jamie's putting too much care and love into this. You don't need to put that much care and love into making like some dried eggs. It can take less than 30 seconds.
Last but not least, there's something quite delicate but substantial about this. And you can see there's shiny parts where it's just cooking. There's cooked parts that are delicate and sheety.
What? What did Jamie say? I think I didn't hear Jamie right. Did he say sheety or shitty? Because the two are not quite the same. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of Gino da Campo, because he couldn't say sheet for the life of him.
Prepare yourself a tray with a little bit of parchment sheet underneath. Stay with me. It's going to be shit all the way. So, is there any other word for this so then I can use?
Just a sheet. Just a sheet. Just saying it correctly will do it.
Scrambled American style eggs. So tasty. Now, all of these styles, French, English and American, they've all had the same eggs, same pinch of salt, same amount of butter, but the method that we've used to cook them has completely not only changed the texture and the look, but the taste. So we've done the English, the French and the American. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's hundreds of countries from all around the world. So how do you cook your eggs? Let us know. We love it. That's what FoodTube is all about. Take care, guys. Bye.
Overall, not a bad video with Jamie. I do have to say though that I disagree with him on not adding any cream or creme fraiche at the end of the cooking process to stop the cooking. Of course, if you're lactose intolerant, this is another thing, so don't worry about it. But if you're not, you can eat like milk and dairy products. Just add a little bit and it will stop the eggs from overcooking, especially if you're making a lot. It can help prevent this. In any case, guys, let me know your thoughts down below and which method you enjoyed the most, and if you've tried the French method with the bain-marie. Have a great week. Take care. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and check out this next video coming up here. And I will see you guys again very soon. Until then, take care.